Welcome to the Chop Seat, where Braves country meets the big leagues. Your host Vic is here to break down everything from truest part to the top of the standings across the league. From walk-offs to wild trades, this is your seat for everything baseball, but a heavy dose of chop. So grab your glove and settle in, because the Chop Seat is open.
Welcome to the Chop Seat. I'm your host, Vic, and today is Friday, June 6th. I really didn't feel like doing this show, man. It's been a rough 3 days, 3 games that we played against the Diamondbacks. It's been rough, man. It's been rough. Braves have lost 4 in a row now. And like I said, I didn't feel like doing this show, bro, because, these guys are playing horrible, man. Terrible. Embarrassing. I just don't know how far this is going to go. So, yeah, I'm just very disappointed with this ball club right now. But we're going to talk about it. I made a promise to keep doing this show regardless of how the Braves are doing, good or bad. So we're here. We're recording this episode. We also had some good action around the league. We had a league championship series rematch. Actually, in both leagues, we had an ALCS and NLCS rematch series going on. We had some more action across the league, of course. We got a couple news headlines, so we're going to get into that also. But you guys know how this rolls, so we're going to head into our first segment right away.
It's time for Tomahawk Takes.
It's time for Tomahawk Takes, where we preview the previous Braves series. And Tomahawk Takes is brought to you by SeatGeek. Use code CHOPSEAT at SeatGeek for $20 off your first purchase. Use code CHOPSEAT for $20 off your first purchase. And you didn't hear it from me, but if you already made a purchase on SeatGeek and you can't use that code, you might be able to use a different email. I'm just saying, you might be able to do it. So use code CHOPSEAT. You're going to save yourself $20 off. But let's talk about this series. Unfortunately, we got to talk about it. It was a 3-game set against the struggling Diamondbacks. And like I said before, anytime you're facing a struggling team with these Atlanta Braves, you are going to get beat up, unfortunately, because the Braves are the team to play and get yourself back on track. We've seen it with the Boston Red Sox. We've seen it with the Padres. And now we saw it with the Diamondbacks. And again, like I said in the intro, it was disappointing, man. Disappointing. You thinking you could win 2 out of 3, get it going, but you can't. You drop all 3, you get swept at your house, and the offense it's been forgotten because of the last game. The last game was probably the worst regular season loss I've seen in my lifetime. The only one I could think of is probably, I think it was 2014? Was it 2014? When the Braves lose at that final game against the Phillies, game 162, and they end up collapsing. They had a terrible September. They collapse and don't make the playoffs. The Phillies get in. And I think the Cardinals got in. That probably was the worst. And it wasn't even the game itself. It was just a collapse in September. So it wasn't even that single game. But this one, man, you're up big in the last inning. You're up big and you choke it away. You only had, at one point, you had 1 out left to get to just seal the deal, and you can't get it. So anyways, let's rewind a little bit. We're gonna go into game 1. Game 1 was a 8-3 final score. Diamondbacks, of course, they won this one. Zach Gallen, he led them to the win. He allowed 3 runs over 6 innings. Spencer Strider, he struggled. He surrendered 6 runs over 5 innings. The Arizona offense was powered by a 4-run 4th inning, featuring RBI hits from Ketel Marte and Eugenio Suarez. Ketel Marte, man, he had himself a series. I think he hit it out twice in this game. It was. He hit 2 homers in this one. This guy was a pest the whole series. I'm glad I have him on my fantasy team. And Geno Suarez, too. I got him on my fantasy team, too. And, he came and showed out. That was Spencer Strider. He's been struggling from coming back. You got to give him time. He had that hamstring injury after returning from the procedure he had done, the brace procedure. So I guess you still got to give him time. This was, I think, his 5th or 6th start after coming back, maybe number 5. It might have been number 5. And you can see he doesn't have that peak velocity that we're used to seeing him have, the 99, 100. I think he's been sitting at 95 miles per hour on average. So the velocity obviously is a couple ticks lower, and these guys are just sitting on that fastball or I think he even got ripped on the changeup also. But I guess it's not, when you're it doesn't sound like that big of a difference, but those 2-3 extra mile per hour on that heater are probably the difference right now. Hopefully he's able to, get some more power behind that fastball and be able to get some separation with his secondary pitches, make it more difficult for the hitters. But that was game 1. We're not going to get too into it. The Braves only scored 3 runs, like I said. That's kind of typical of them, 3 runs or less. So we were a little upset. Obviously, they had lost the game before this one against the Red Sox. So they are now at a 4-game losing streak right now, 4-game slide, and it doesn't get easier. We're going to see why when we go into the Braves forecast later on. But yeah, so they lost this one. That was 2 L's in a row. Then game 2, that was final score of D-backs 2-1. It was started by Merrill Kelly for the Diamondbacks. He went 7 innings, 1 hit allowed, 1 walk, 8 Ks. I think he had a no-hitter through 6 until Ronald Acuna Jr. He singled and broke up the no-hitter. So, again, the offense is getting dominated per usual this season. Chris Sale, he pitched his butt off. He went 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. He did give up 4 walks, but he struck out 10. Chris Sale continues to give some nice performances, giving the offense a chance. And again, he just gave up 1 run. So you definitely got to score more here and give Chris Sale a win, guys. You gotta start hitting. And they did hit. We're gonna see why in game 3, but this is game 2. In the top of the 3rd, Perdomo. Wow, I just combined the name. Geraldo Perdomo. He walked, and then with 2 outs, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. He singles to right. That brings in Perdomo. That makes it 1-0. It was pretty quiet till the top of the 9th. Top of the 9th, you bring in Raisel Iglesias, and this guy, man, he's not been no bueno, guys. He's been no bueno. I can't stress it enough. It's like every time he comes into the game, he has to give up a run. It's like his minimum. You got to give up a run, right? So, ¿qué lo que pasa, loco? Come on, you got to figure something out, bro. I don't know what's going on with him. It's terrible, man. You're supposed to be the guy that comes in and seals the deal, closes the door. I get it if you get tagged 1 game or 2, but literally every single appearance is starting to can't even put words to it. Anyways, he comes in the top of the 9th to try and hold the D-backs to a 1-0 lead. But Tim Tower greets him with a double. Ketel Marte, he singles to left. That drives in Tim Tower, and that makes it 2-0. Right, so allows an insurance run. And actually, before we got there, bottom of the 8th inning, this was a frustrating part. The Braves, they load up the bases. It was Ryan Thompson. He was in the inning. He gave up. He had runners on 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. And then Justin Martinez, he came in. The bases were loaded. He was facing Michael Harris II. And Michael Harris II, he strikes out on 3 straight pitches. He was chasing. He was not having any good at-bats. You got to at least try and put the ball in play and get a sac fly. You got the bases loaded, bro. You got to do something here. So, I mean, sorry, it was not bases loaded. I'm confusing about the bottom of the 9th. It wasn't bases loaded at this point. But then after Michael Harris struck out, Cunha Jr., he's intentionally walked. That loads up the bases for Austin Riley. And then Austin Riley, I believe he struck out. He just struck out. It was a good at bat. I think it was full count, but he strikes out, doesn't put the ball in play. That's inning over. So you load up the bases once against Justin Martinez, and Justin Martinez was pretty crazy. He had no control in this game. It was pretty nuts, and we see why. In the bottom of the ninth, he stays on the mound. He issues 3 walks, and he hits a batter. That makes it 2-1 with 2 outs. Game on the line. Guess who's up? Michael Harris, the second. He gets to face him for a second time in the following inning, back-to-back innings. He faces the same pitcher back-to-back. And with the bases loaded, he ends up chasing and he strikes out to end the ball game. Terrible at bat by Michael Harris II. This guy, I think all the pitches he swung at were balls, pretty much. The only pitch that was in the strike zone was the first one that he watched. That was a fastball right down the pipe. He didn't swing at that one. Everything else he swung at, I believe it was that splitter or whatever he throws. Excuse me, I can't remember right now, but it's just he absolutely chased. He got him striking out. He got him swinging, and that was the ball game. And it was frustrating again for the offense. A 2-1 loss at home. You load up the bases twice. This is unacceptable, man. This is unacceptable. If you're going to be a championship team, you got to hit with runners on base. Solo home runs are not going to help you. It's not going to help you. This team, and that's the problem. Every time they hit homers now, it's literally just solo shot. You're not going to win ball games like that. Get your guys on base and keep the line moving. But Michael Harris, again, he struck out twice with opportunities to tie the ball game or give the Braves the lead. And that was pretty much it. And Rysel, I mean, you imagine if Rysel doesn't allow that run to come in. It would have been 1-1 tie ball game after the Braves scored on that Justin Martinez hit batter, and the 3 walks that he gave up. That would have been a tie ball game, and things might have been differently. But anyways, that was a yell for the Braves. And another note, Daysbert Hernandez, he relieved Chris Sale, but then he exited the game in the 8th due to I think they had a blister or something like that. He got out the game, and he's actually now on the IL with some inflammation. But we're going to see that in a little bit. But also, so then let's go to Game 3. And we forgot about Game 2. Because how bad Game 3 was. And we forgot about first we forgot about Game 2 because the Game 3 was bad, but the offense was actually good. And that's why we forgot about the performance from the offense in Game 2, and they almost got no hit. But the Braves, they actually scored 10 in this ball game, but they still lose the game 11-10. A terrible collapse by your Atlanta Braves. I guess our Atlanta Braves. I'm already disassociating myself with them. I say yours instead of ours. But our Braves, they scored 10 and they still lose the ball game. That's kind of how the year's been. You finally get to see the bats going, and then you still lose it. Brandon Pfaadt, he opened up the game for the Diamondbacks. He went 3 innings, 5 hits, 6 runs, 5 of those earned. He had 2 walks and 2 Ks, so a short start for him. And Grant Holmes for the Braves, he went 3 1/3, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, and 4 Ks. In the bottom of the second, Austin Riley, he hits a solo homer off of Pfaadt. He makes it 1-0. Bottom third, the Braves, they score 5 runs in this one, highlighted by the Matt Olson RBI double. Marcell Ozuna Eloso, he hits a 2-run double off the center field wall. After this inning was done, it was 6-0. But the Diamondbacks, they answered right back in the top of the 4th. They scored 3 runs, including Eugenio Suarez RBI single. I believe Grant Holmes, I think he walked the first 2 batters of the inning. So you get a 6-run lead. You're like, honestly, I was listening to this game. I was doing some work around the house. I wasn't watching. I was listening to the game, and I'm like, here we go. You get yourselves a 6-run lead. You're thinking you're gonna be in cruise control, and nope. The lead is cut in half, 6-3. Braves. Bottom of the fifth, Austin Riley, he homers again, second homer. Hopefully, this is a sign that he is going to be on a scorcher. That made it 7-3. Bottom six, Ronald Acuna Jr. La Bestia, and hey, Drake Baldwin, they hit back-to-back homers. They make the lead 9-3, Atlanta Braves. Top of the eighth, Ketel Marte, he hits a solo homer. That cuts it 9-4. And the Braves add another one on the bottom of the eighth, 10-4. So you're thinking, this is it. This is ball game, bro. This is the ball. I was listening. I'm like, finally, we got a nice ball game where you kind of relax. You score a whole bunch of runs. But bro, that was not it. That was not it. Scott Blewett, he comes into the eighth inning. He ends up giving 5 runs. And this is what happened. The Diamondbacks, they score 7 runs in this inning. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., he hits a solo homer off Scott Blewett. Blewett, he allows a walk after him. And then Alec Thomas, he hits a 2-run homer. Ketel Marte, before that, I believe it was 10-8 at that point? It might have been 10-8 or 10-7. I can't even remember. I try to put this in the back of my head real far away. But Raisel Iglesias comes in. He comes in. And again, there's got to be your guy. This is a closer. You're the last line of defense. And you're supposed to be a really good line of defense. The last one. You're the one to hold it down when things are getting bad. So they bring him in. The Braves still have a lead at this point. They still have a lead. And what happens? Ketel Marte, he singles in a run off of him. Delmaro Vargas, he added an RBI single. And then Eugenio Suarez, he delivers a 2-run double off of Iglesias. That made it 11-10. And that was the ball game, guys. That was the ball game. Terrible, terrible way to lose. They score 7 in the top of the ninth. Right, so Iglesias, he allows 3 runs. It's just terrible, bro. It's a terrible look for our Atlanta Braves. And again, I mean, I saw the highlights. The hits that they got off of Iglesias, they were literally, those pitches were outside of the zone too. And credit to the Diamondbacks hitters, they were able to put the ball in play and find some holes, find some gaps, and they made it happen. They made it happen. So it wasn't that I can't even explain if it was bad execution from Raisel Iglesias. I can't even say it was bad execution, honestly. But I don't know, something about him, guys. Something about him is just, it's not it, bro. Every time you come in, you're allowing runs. And Scott Blewett, he got DFA'd after this one. He got DFA'd, and I don't think I don't like that move. I don't like that move really, because he's been pretty good before this one collapse that he had. There's been a whole bunch of other guys in this very bullpen that have had bad appearances, back-to-back appearances, and they're still on the roster. And this guy, he gives you one bad. I know it was really bad. It was really bad. It was a walk homer. That's what he gave up. But besides yesterday's game, man, he's been pretty good for you. He's been pretty good. But anyways, he got DFA. That's the way the ball game goes. I think the Orioles actually picked him up today, so good for him. And, he's still employed, and he's still going to be out there, being able to make something happen. But I was speechless, bro. I didn't even believe that went down yesterday. Like, I still don't even believe it today, honestly. It's crazy. I know this team. My thing is this. This is my thing. I know at some point, teams, your time being at the top is over. It happens to everybody. It happens to every team. But some teams actually stay in the bottom for a long time. But some teams, they're at the top. And at some point, you're going to drop down a little bit. And I know it was going to happen, but I didn't expect it to be this soon. That's the problem. We weren't ready for it. I would say maybe in 2-3 years, maybe it would happen. Because you know how talented these guys are on the roster, especially offensively. You literally I keep saying it, you had a historic offense 2 years ago, and now you can't hit the ball, apparently, except for yesterday. Yesterday they went off, and they should have won that game. But it was, again, a terrible collapse, historic collapse. I think it's the first time since like the 70s that the Braves lost a game after leading by more than 6 in the 8th inning. So, it's a historic collapse, to be honest. That's how bad it is. And anyways, that's the way the game went. The Braves have now lost 4 in a row. It's not looking any better. Not looking any better for these guys because they're going to have a tough matchup this weekend. So we'll see how they're able to fare against the team that they'll be facing, but I don't have that much hope, honestly, with them. I really don't. They're gonna have to show me something else. They're gonna have to show me otherwise because this is really, really out of hand. But I don't know, guys. I didn't think this team was gonna be this bad. Now you're back to square one. Now you're 7 games under 500 again. After you clawed your way back impressively. Everyone's like, okay, here they go. Now they're going to take off. I thought we were going to take off, but that's not how it went down. And yeah, man, the terrible, terrible loss is at home too. Crowd was booing. Braves fans don't really boo like that, but this crowd was booing. So anyways, let's see how they're going to go in the next series. But now let's not talk about the Braves for a little bit. Give me a break, guys. Now let's head into our next segment.
It's time for the MLB.
It's time for the MLB, where we catch up with the action from around the league. And how I mentioned in the intro, we had some championship series rematches. The first one was the NLCS rematch. It was the Mets at Dodgers. The Mets, they win game 1, 4-3 in 10 innings. They secure that victory with timely hitting. Game 2, Dodgers, they walk it off against the Mets, 6-5 in extra innings. Max Muncy, he tied the game with a crucial home run in the 9th inning. And then Freddie Freeman, he delivers a walk-off double in the 10th. That's your ball game. Game 3, the Mets, they come back. They win this one 6-1. Pete Alonso, he's been hot. He powered the Mets with 2 homers and 5 RBIs. Griffin Canning, he pitched 6 scoreless innings, holding the Dodgers offense in check. Game 4, the Dodgers, they win this one 6-5. And a dramatic finale. The Dodgers, they rallied from a 5-3 deficit in the 8th inning. Will Smith, he gets an RBI double. And Michael Conforto, former Met, he gets some revenge. He hits a go-ahead single. And then that was aided by a Mets defensive misplay to seal the comeback victory. But both teams, they show how good they are. They show that competitive spirit. And they end up splitting this one. And, 3 of the 4 games, they were decided by a single run. And then 2 games were extended into extra innings. So, you can see how they match up pretty well against each other. The Mets have been impressive, and the Dodgers are supposed to be, team number 1 due to their, the roster, how they look on paper with all these future Hall of Famers. But listen, I got to be honest. The Mets do match up very, very well against the Dodgers. That might be the matchup for this year's NLCS as well. For our sake, hopefully not, but it might be a rematch of that one. In the American League side, we had the ALCS rematch. The Yankees, they were hosting the Guardians. They win the first ball game. They win that one 2-3. Jazz Chisholm, he came back from a oblique injury. He made a significant impact with a go-ahead homer in the 7th inning. Anthony Volpe, he also contributed with a solo home run. And Carlos Rodon, he pitched effectively. He's been killing it this year. Good for him. The Guardians, they come back and they win game number 2. They shut out the Yankees. Angel Martinez, he launched a 2-run homer in the first inning. Kyle Manzardo, he added a solo homer in the 8th. And Luis Ortiz, he delivers 5 2/3 scoreless innings, allowing only 3 hits and striking out 7 Yankees. In the Yankees offense, it struggled in this game. They grounded into 3 double plays and managing just 5 hits. So they were held in check. But game 3, they come right back. They have pitched a shutout themselves. They bounce back. They win this one, like I said, 4-0. Max Fried, he was stellar. He allowed just 1 infield single over 6 innings and striking out 7. He might get that Cy Young. Tariq Skubal might have something to say about that. I believe this was win number 8 for Max Fried. I'm not sure. It might be 8 or 9. I'm going to go with 8, though. Cody Bellinger, he led the offense with a 2-run homer and an RBI single. Jazz Chisholm added an RBI single himself, and the bullpen preserved that shutout. Like I said, Tim Hill, he escaped a bases-loaded jam in the 7th, and Jonathan Loaizaga, he closed out the game. With this series win, the Yankees have now won 8 of their last 9 series, so good for them. They have been playing good baseball. Next, we have the Colorado Rockies at Miami. They actually get their first sweep of the season. This is their first series win of the season. That marked a 22 series losing streak that dated back to last season. They won the first one 6-4, second one 3-2, and the last one by the same score. Kyle Freeland, he earned his first win of the season. That's crazy to get your first series win in June and first sweep in June. It's pretty crazy, guys. It's pretty crazy. But they get it done. Good for them. The LA Angels at the Boston Red Sox. This was a thriller. Game 1, Angels win this one 7-6. They steal this one over there in Boston. Game 2, the Angels win this one again 4-3. They win this one in 10 innings. A close game. And then in game 3, another close one. The Red Sox, they end up winning this one and avoiding the sweep. They went on a Ceddanne Rafaela walk-off 2-run homer in the 9th. It was a 308-foot shot around the pesky pole. That was the shortest walk-off home run recorded in the StatCast era. So good for them to end off that series in that fashion. Game 1 against the Brewers and the Reds. The Brewers win this one 3-2. The Reds come back in game 2. They win this one 4-2. And then the final game, the Brewers, they dominate this one 9-1. They win the series. Jackson Chourio, Daz Cameron, they each hit 2-run homers. That was pretty good for them. And that was Cameron's first of the season. Then we go down to Chicago White Sox hosting Detroit. The Tigers, they win game 1, a dominating win 13-1. Kerry Carpenter, he hit 3 home runs in this one. Dylan Dangler and Winston Perez, they also homer. That contributed to Detroit's 16 hits. Jack Flaherty, he pitched 6 innings, allowing just 1 run. And the Tigers secured the 11th consecutive win at Guarantee Rate Field, matching a franchise record. Game 2, the White Sox, they come back. They said, "You're going to do that to us? We got a little something for you." They score 8. They win this one 8-1. Game 3, the Tigers, they come back. They win 5-4, a closely contested game. Detroit, they jumped up to a 4-0 lead in the first inning. We saw the White Sox battle back a little bit, but the Tigers bullpen held the lead, securing the victory. And the final game, White Sox, they walk it off, baby. 3-2 in 10 innings. Austin Slater, he executed a perfect bunt to advance the runner, and Tim Elko, he followed with a walk-off single, giving Chicago the win and a series split. Impressive for the White Sox, holding it down. And they are able to split with the Detroit Tigers. Then we head to San Francisco hosting the San Diego Padres. The Giants, they lose this one in a classic pitchers duel. Logan Webb, he delivered 8 shutout innings with 7 strikeouts. The game's only run came in the 10th inning when Jose Iglesias, oh my God, He hits a sacrifice fly, bringing in Jake Cronenworth. That's the ball game. Stephen Kolek and Robert Suarez, they held the Giants scoreless to end the ball game. The second game, Padres, they win this one 3-2 in extra innings. Again, 10 innings in this one. Manny Machado, he led the Padres to a 3-2 comeback win, going 4-for-4, delivering a 2-run single in the ninth to tie the game. And Jake Cronenworth, he secured the victory with a game-winning hit in the 10th inning. This win marked the Padres' second consecutive extra inning victory in the series. The Giants, they come back. They battle back the third game. They win this one 6-5. They were down 5-0. They win this one. That snapped a 7-game losing streak against the Padres. And then the last game of the series, looking to split the series, the Giants, they do split it. They win this one 3-2. Robbie Ray, he became the National League's first 8-game winner. He pitches 7 innings with 9 strikeouts. Dominic Smith, in his second game with the Giants, he delivers a crucial 2-run double in the third inning. And Camilo Doval, he earns his 100th career save. Congrats to him. And that was how the series went down. Then we had Minnesota at the Athletics, the Twins. They win this one 10-4, the opener. They win the second game. They put up 10 runs again, 10-3. And the Twins, they win the third one 6-1. And looking to sweep the final game, the Athletics, they start scoring themselves. They blow them out 14-3. They salvage the series. And now they are heading into this series with the Baltimore Orioles that are coming in over there to Sacramento to face them. But despite the loss in the finale, the Twins, they secured that series win. They concluded their West Coast trip with a 5-5 record. So pretty good, successful West Coast trip for them. Although they do have an injury, a key injury, hopefully they are going to be able to fill that spot in for now. But Pablo Lopez, the starter, he went down. So they're going to have to manage without him for a little bit. After that, we had Houston at Pittsburgh. Houston Astros, they win this one 3-0 the first game. The Pirates, they come back and win the second game by the same score. And then the Astros, they win the final game 8-2. They win the series. Then we had Cubs and Nationals. Cubs, they win the first game 8-3. Man, these Cubs could score, man. They could score, man. They score runs like crazy. The Nationals, they're able to shut them out. The second game, Mackenzie Gore, he delivered a dominant performance, pitching 7 scoreless innings with 7 Ks. Again, they win this one 2-0. But then the Cubs come back and win the series in game 3 because they put up 7. Nationals only score 1. And Ian Happ, he led the game, the offense, He went 3-for-4 with 4 RBIs, including a 2-run homer and his 500th career RBI. Congrats to him. Whew. What a mouthful. What a mouthful, guys. We're almost there. Phillies at Blue Jays. Phillies, they win this one. The first one 8-3. Trey Turner and Bryce Harper, they hit back-to-back homers in the first inning, igniting a 6-run rally. The second game, the Blue Jays, they win a tight one 2-1. And then the final game, Blue Jays, they win this one 9-1. So they take the series from the Philadelphia Phillies. Chris Bassett, he pitched 7 strong innings, allowing 1 run, striking out 6. That improves his season record of 6-3. And he maintains a perfect 5-0 career record against the Phillies. So this guy loves pitching against the Phillies. And the Blue Jays, they erupted for 4 runs in both the second and the third innings, capitalizing on poor pitching by Jesus Luzardo, who surrendered 8 runs in just over 2 innings. The next series, we had the Tampa Bay Rays versus the Texas Rangers. They were hosting the Rangers. They bring out the brooms because they sweep them. They win first game 5-1, second game 5-4, and then they had a dramatic comeback, trailing 3-1 in the last game in the 9th inning. Junior Caminero, he narrowed the deficit with an RBI single with 2 outs. Taylor Walls, he hits a 2-run infield single that was a big mistake by the Blue Jays defense. And then Caminero, he actually homered earlier in the game. That was his 15th of the season. But anyways, that was a ball game. A bad miscue there by the Texas Rangers that led them to lose that final game. So the Braves, they bring out the brooms. They sweep that one. Then we had Kansas City at St. Louis Cardinals. Royals, they win the first one 10-7. There was a rain out, actually, the second game. So they had a doubleheader on Thursday. The doubleheader, the Cardinals, they win 6-10. First one in 10 innings. It was a walk-off RBI single by Wilson Contreras. That is his 1,000th career game. Good for him to continue to be in the majors. Great to see him and his brother, William Contreras. That has to be an awesome feeling, man, when you playing in the league with your bro. Definitely cool. Jack Caglione. This guy, they've been getting talked about a lot. He recorded his first major league hit in this one and an RBI with a double. And then the second game of the doubleheader, the Royals, they clinched the series. They win this one 7-5. And that was the ball game. Then we had Baltimore. Baltimore at Mariners. Baltimore, they sweep this series. Good for them. They are starting to play some better baseball. And that was it for the action from around the league. We got some headlines here. Unfortunately, Corbin Burns, he is to undergo Tommy John surgery. He is going to be out for the season. A bad loss for the Arizona Diamondbacks, who just had picked him up during the offseason. And they were, definitely counting on him to be able to make a big postseason run. But unfortunately, they will not have him on the roster to be able to help him do so. We also had Trevor Bauer. If you're even following this, if you ever followed this, he ends up winning the lawsuit against his accuser, Lindsey Hill. So that went down. Commissioner Rob Manfred, he announces that the ABS challenge system will be in play in 2026 for next season. That is going to be good to have because we already have seen some terrible calls, and it's going to change how ball games go. It's definitely going to change how ball games go from here on out. And then White Sox ownership deal. Billionaire Justin Ishbia, co-owner of the Phoenix Suns and the Mercury, he reached an agreement with Jerry Reinsdorf to potentially take over the Chicago White Sox between 2029 and 2033. So that'll be good to see. Good to see new ownership for the White Sox, and who knows, they might be on top pretty soon after he takes over. That'll be exciting for the White Sox fan base. So I think that's it, guys. I think that's it for the action that went down around the league. And all we're going to do is highlight the matchups for this weekend. We're going to have that Sunshine State rematch again. The Miami Marlins will be at Tampa. The Keystone Series is going on again. The Philadelphia Phillies at Pittsburgh. Texas at Washington. The classic showdown. Boston Red Sox will be in the Bronx facing the Yankees. The Arizona Diamondbacks, they will be facing off against the Cincinnati Reds. Chicago Cubs at Detroit. This is going to be really good series. You're going to have probably the best offense right now, facing one of the best pitching ball clubs in the Detroit Tigers. That's going to be a series to watch along with that Boston and New York series. Then we have the Houston Astros at Cleveland, Kansas City at the Chicago White Sox, Toronto at Minnesota, San Diego at Milwaukee, the Dodgers at St. Louis, the New York Mets at Colorado. Again, guys? That's like the 12th game you guys play against them. Just kidding. Anyways, Seattle Mariners at LA, Angels, Baltimore at the Athletics. So those are the series that are going down across the league. And now, that was it. That was it for the MLB, guys. That was it. Now we're going to head into our final segment. I'm sorry this episode has been taking a little longer than usual. But now let's head into our next segment.
It's time for your Braves forecast.
The Braves forecast, where we highlight the action coming up, the next series for our Atlanta Braves. And that's going to be a 3-game set against the San Francisco Giants. on the road. It's going to be a little West Coast trip, little road trip. I think we have the Brewers after them. So it's a 3-game set against the Giants to begin that road trip. The Braves, again, are looking to rebound from a 4-game losing streak. While the Giants, they aim to build on their recent momentum. The Braves are coming into this one 27-34, 7 games under 500. Again, like I said earlier, 4th in the NL East. In the last 10 games, they're 2-8. That's a big, big slide. And the road record, an impressive 10-20. You're gonna have to improve that one on this road trip. I better see 15 and 21 after this one. 15 and 21. That means we go 5-1. So we'll see if they're able to do that one. But again, they're coming off of that dramatic 11-10 loss. So we'll see how they're able to bounce back. Let's see if they have some fight in them. This is what this series is going to be. Flip the page on yesterday's terrible, terrible loss on the sweep that just happened. Flip the page, come back, go into San Francisco, come all fires, all cylinders firing on all cylinders, however the saying goes. Let's see if they really have some fight. This is the time to step it up. You're playing a good ball club. Show them what you got. Show them what you got, guys. Keep it going with the hitting. The hitting was phenomenal yesterday. Obviously, we know the bullpen collapsed. We get it. But that was the only positive from yesterday's game. The hitting was firing on all cylinders. If you're able to do that and pitch like you're normally supposed to pitch, you're going to win some ball games. You're going to be able to climb right back. The Giants, they're 35-28. They're in third in the NL West. The last 10 games, they've been 4-6, and they have a home record of 19-11. They have won 2 straight, so they're going to be looking to hold it down at home. First game is going to be at 10:15 p.m. start time here on the East Coast, 4:05 and 4:05 on Saturday and Sunday. For game 1, it'll be Spencer Schwellenbach. He's coming off that 11 strikeout performance. Actually, he had consecutive 11 strikeout performances. It'll be Hayden Birdsong for the Giants. Has a 2.37 ERA in his first 3 starts. This will be a really, really good matchup with some young arms. The bullpen woes for the Braves. Bullpen particularly evident in their recent collapse against Arizona. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. But Craig Kimbrell, he's been brought up from Gwinnett, AAA Gwinnett. He's back in Atlanta. I know it's weird to say after he was traded years ago to the Padres and then started making his way around the league. But he's back in a Braves uniform. He'll probably be making an appearance tonight. Maybe he'll be closing out the game. Who knows? Who knows what Brian Snitker's going to do? Who knows? You never know, man. You never know. He might be picking up his first save in God knows how many years it's been. It has to be at least 10 years, right? He was in, I don't remember what year he got traded, but I know when that Braves collapsed last time, and I think it was 2014, so it has to be a good 8 to 10 years. But he'll be back. And then what else we got here? Guys? I think that's it, guys. That's it. We can watch it on MLB TV, obviously. MLB Network is gonna be showing the game as well. It's gonna be a late one. I don't know if I'm gonna be watching this one. I don't know if I'm gonna stay up and watch another L. I don't know if I have it in me. I stayed up for that the second game, the 2-1 loss. I stayed up. I was feeling it the next day. I was pissed. You know what that is, man? When you stay up late for a game, and you're thinking, I don't want to. This is the way I think. I'm like, I don't want to wake up and see that we walked it off, and then I didn't watch it in person. It's not the same when you watch the highlights than when you actually watch the game when it's going on. So I'm like, nah, I'm gonna stay up. I gotta watch this walk off real quick. Walk off, bro. Walk off. There was no walk off, guys. There was no walk off. There was 2 consecutive innings, bases loaded. You didn't do much. You only scored 1 run, and that was on walks and a hit by pitch. So I was pissed. I was pissed because I want to sleep super late for that. But anyways, let's see how it goes. Let's see how the weekend goes. Let's go again. Starts at night. Start, everybody. Boom, everybody. If you're not watching on YouTube, I'm just flicking the wrist. Everybody start hitting. Everybody got to start hitting. The same way you guys hit the final game, do the same thing. Austin Riley's been hot. He's been hitting homers. Olsen's been pretty good. Albie's been pretty good. Michael Harris, bro, you gotta, if you're gonna be, don't even swing, bro. Honestly, don't even swing. Don't even swing. Just take all the pitches. If you strike out looking the first at bat, fine. Fine. Don't even swing. I don't want you chasing things on the other side of the batter's box or on the floor. Stop chasing, bro. Don't swing. Don't swing. Don't press the X button, bro. Don't press the X button. Just stand there, take some pitches. If you get walked, you got walked. If you strike out, so be it. You struck out. But don't go chasing every single pitch. Make them earn that strikeout, bro. Make them throw it down the pipe, and you just watch it. That's it. That's how bad it is at this point. Then after the first at bat, depending on how that goes, then swing away or something. But the first at bat, please don't swing. Don't swing at all. Take your base, bro. Because they're gonna be trying to make you chase. They're gonna be throwing it outside the zone, so they're gonna try and get you, bro. It's not gonna be in the strike zone, bro. I'm telling you right now. Just listen to me, bro. Listen to me. Anyways, I keep going on and off on little rants, bro, because this thing's been bothering me, bro. This thing's been bothering me. I can't wait for the game tonight. I might watch the first inning. Because they need to erase that loss from yesterday, man. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to follow the show on Instagram at the Chop Seat Pod. We're actually on X or Twitter, whatever you guys call it, at the Chop Seat. I'll be posting things here and there on Twitter, and then on YouTube at the Chop Seat as well. So thank you guys for continuing to watch the show and be able to keep up with us, showing us some love. We really, really appreciate it. And for using that code, the Chop Seat, using the code Chop Seat at SeaGeek, I appreciate that as well. So thank you guys. Hopefully we have a good weekend for the Braves. Hopefully there's a good weekend for your team. And we'll catch up on Monday. So everyone stay safe. Have a great weekend. And we will see you next time.